To better appreciate the functions used in this case, it would be helpful to understand what it is that we are trying to do. Ian has the option to either purchase some equipment for his farm or to lease it, which means he would not actually own it and would have to surrender it at the end of the lease. So the question is it cheaper to buy or lease? Let's take a closer look at the lease option. Here you have our spreadsheet with steps 1 through 9 already completed. Those were easy because it was just plugging in numbers with the exception of step 6D. In step 10, we need to enter the annual lease payments, which is the amount shown in cell B28. Rather than entering $45,000, we should use an absolute cell reference, so after entering equals $B $28 in cell E8, we can just drag the fill handle and copy the reference over to the rest of the range. Similarly, in step 11, we need to enter the cost of ownership in the range F9 to J9, which is the value located in cell B18. Again, we will use an absolute reference when we enter equal $B $18 in cell F9, so that when we copy the reference to the rest of the range, they will all be pointing to cell B18. Why are we using cell references? Well, if the value in either cell B18 or B28 changes, the rest of our spreadsheet will automatically be updated. Otherwise, we would have to change all the cells manually. In step 12, we now need to enter a formula since we want to add the lease payment in row 8 and the ownership cost in row 9, and then calculate the tax on those sums by multiplying the total times the tax rate in cell B32. So in cell F10, the formula would look like equal minus sign parentheses E8 plus E9 close parentheses times $B $32. Take note of two things. First, again we used an absolute reference for cell B32 because we want the same value applied to all the cells in the range. And second, notice the minus sign in the formula. We multiply the formula by -1 so that the result, which initially is a negative number, is shown as a positive number since we are not paying out that money. Step 13 is an easy one, as you just need to enter a formula in cell E12 that adds rows E8, E9, and E10, and then copy that formula to the rest of the range F12 through J12. This time, don't use absolute references in the formula. Now in step 14, we need to use the net present value function in cell E14. This function gives a current value based on future payments and income. For those of you who are already taking accounting or business math, you should understand what we mean by a present value. If you have not yet taken those classes, just look at present value as what I need to invest today, present value, to reach a certain amount in the future, future value. So here's what we need to do. First, click on the Insert Function button and search for NPV. When you select it, you will see the NPV function arguments dialog box appear. We need to enter a rate and some values for it to work. In our case, the rate is located in cell B31, and so that is what we enter in the rate box. The values we want to use are located in the range F12 to J12, so that is what we enter into the value 1 box. Since those are the only values we need, there is no need to enter anything in the value 2 box. Note that the calculated result already shows up at the bottom of the dialog box. Click OK to accept the function. And so, the lease option portion of the spreadsheet should look like this.